All right, Kev, we could be live on Facebook. This is our first time trying this. You are now watching a live video. The broadcaster and other users can see. Okay, so I think we are rolling.
Good for us.
We're gonna know soon enough because I don't know. We're gonna find out. All right, let's get back to Beyond the Headlines. I'm Rhonda Masad, and I'm here with Kevin Woodhouse, and we are here to talk about the news of the week. Kev, we have some good sponsors. We have some fun today. Tell me what's going on. Start me with the sponsor.
Oh, well, we have Bhutan Day Source is now our sponsor, and we are giving away, part of our giveaway, we are giving away a dinner for two. So kind of a date night. We want to make your day giveaway, or maybe you want to give it to somebody else, or, take it to a parent or whatever it is. You do what you want, but we just hope that, you guys win. So don't be shy to comment. And because if you don't comment, you can't win. And we choose a winner every week, and we announce at the end of the show, which we'll be doing today. We have a winner from last week, Rhonda. They've left a really, really nice comment. And we'll let the winner know at the end of the show.
All right. I love it. So let's delve right into the news. What do we have? What are we starting with? This is your script this week. I was busy. Tell me what's going on.
That's right. Well, I think the biggest story of the week so far has to be the fact that they're setting up we have drive-through for donuts, we have drive-through for fast food, now we got drive-through for vaccines, and it's happening at the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Airport. And yesterday, today, the health minister was there to sort of inoculate or sort of see the first shot go into an arm. So you drive up, you get your shot, you drive off. And the notion is they can do 4,000 people a day, and it takes less personnel, believe it or not. So that's so the idea is like, let's get as many West Island folks vaccinated as quickly as possible. So I think that's kind of a neat story, like hopefully getting us to that herd immunity sooner than later.
Well, exactly. And by the way, it's the first ever in Quebec. So that's why the minister was here. This was a big move.
So cool. Well, I mean, Dorval Airport, as we know, now that the Dorval Circle's reopened, it's going to be a lot easier to get there. So
logically at the airport, come off the plane, get tested, get vaccinated, get it all done in one shot, and then, I don't know, spend 2 days in a hotel. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. So I think it's a really good initiative. Now, I guess the point is, if we're going to start to see drive-through vaccination sites, more people can get vaccinated. The age restrictions keep going down. You posted it on the West Island News blog. I really like that graphic you did. Basically, by sort of the end of May, anyone who wants to get a vaccine can go and get one. I
was sitting with somebody that earlier, and like I was doing a wellness appointment, and this person is not interested in the vaccine, which I completely, everybody's got their take on the vaccine,
right?
With that, but she was saying, well, everybody's going to be vaccinated by June 24th, but I was like, yeah, but you're not going. So I don't understand. You're excited that we're vaccinating, but you're not going to vaccinate. So I'm confused at your excitement.
Well, that's it. That's it exactly.
However, we're vaccinating. Why aren't you going?
Yes. Now, if we get to that herd immunity, hopefully sooner than later, we could be looking at restaurants opening back up, bars opening back up, maybe even shows. Do you have any news about upcoming shows maybe? Or
I am very excited to announce that I was browsing for my global interview this week, and Mark Anthony will be performing live, and tickets are on sale in December.
Wow.
Center. That it's on sale now. Point is, we're optimistic.
Yeah.
You can go to a show, and there was another show coming out that they thought would be there. I know that Legault yesterday was talking about considering. There are discussions on the table in Parliament, and they are wrapping up. By the way, this is the end of the season for them. They have another 2 weeks to go, and then they're on break. So right. I don't think Legault is on break, but our MNAs are coming back from Quebec, and they will be on a break. So what's on the table is live concerts. So they're really optimistic. Yesterday was a beautiful meeting with Legault, his émission, whatever it is there, his announcements. He was great. He was optimistic. We are hopefully coming around the corner of this whole experience.
Won't that be a trip to either go to a place where you see other humans? I don't know about you, but whenever I watch movies and I see crowds of people, I always think, oh, that's right. It was shot before COVID.
I'm watching Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce right now. I'm binge watching, and they never wash their hands. It drives me out of my mind. I see somebody come in and go, yeah, but you didn't wash your hands.
You didn't wash your hands. You're standing too close.
Yeah.
So talk about how it's really gotten into our heads. I have to ask you this before we move on. Have you had any COVID dreams? Because I often talk to people about dreams, and I've had the odd dream where I'm going somewhere and I realize, damn it, I don't have my mask. Those are kind of, I've had a few of
That's
those.
not my dream. That's my life.
Yeah. Well, that's it. So I'm looking forward to that ending.
I have a
So-
stack of masks in my car of every color, every kind. I have it all, but you can be guaranteed, much like the shopping bags at the Provigo, I'm inside and crap.
Right. Well, better that they're in your car than when I still see. I don't understand walking my dog and I see masks on the ground. That's a real pet peeve for me.
How do they get how do they get off your face and onto the ground? That's where I'm lost.
Yeah, it's sort of an
And I want to pick them up, but I'm terrified.
Yeah, no.
Terrified to pick them up.
There is a couple of people who actually go around. I think there was someone in Dorval or Point Claire or someone downtown. They actually go up. They have gloves and they have little catchers. They take care of all that. But we should sort of be doing it ourselves.
Can you really
All
just
right.
your mask, guys? Yeah, let's keep going. We've got Kevin.
I want you to talk to me about a story you did. You did it for the blog this week, and I want to dig down a little bit into that. Let me just introduce it. Rhonda, you take it away. So Dorval.
I want you to talk about it, so I am going to let you handle it. I've talked about it enough. I think
Okay.
You to take
All right.
it.
So
Dorval,
what we're talking about is Dorval at their April council meeting. One of their councillors pitched the notion of charging residents first crack for the use of gazebos. That would cost you $88 for, I think it was 3 hours. And for non-residents, if you want to book a picnic table, it's $25 for 3 hours or $10 for a resident. And
for 3 hours.
The reason for this was they were overwhelmed last year by, I guess, folks who don't live in Dorval who were coming in, and some residents were saying, hey, I want to take my kids down. I want to take my grandparents down. I want to take, my friends down, and we can't get any space because it's so booked up. So this is not a fait accompli yet. It was sort of a draft bylaw, and I want to talk to you about that in a sec because of your experience as a councillor in terms of draft bylaws. What they're waiting for now is input from the city, input from the residents, yay or nay, and then they'll bring it up at the next meeting. Now, one of the things said that it would only be for weekends, and the city commented on Facebook because this got a lot of reaction from people. They're saying if you're taking a stroll in the park and a picnic table is available, you're to use it. Reservations will be useful, especially in cases where you would like, for example, to make sure you have a place to eat during a children's party held in the park. Okay. So the idea is if you're having an event, you should book it so you can have it. Now, I know they do this in Europe, and I've known that they've done this in other provinces. So I think this could be a first for the West Island. What's your thoughts?
I've never heard of it. A draft bylaw, by the way, means that it is not a done deal. There is a 3-month process normally.
Right.
It's a 3-month. If memory serves, when I was on council, a draft bylaw would start and then the citizens have a chance to respond. And keep in mind, this is a response to citizens complaining in the first place.
Exactly. This didn't come out of a vacuum.
It's not their idea. This is not like this is their idea, but it's their idea in response to several complaints.
Yeah.
The amount of money that will be collected, the idea is to offset the security guards that will be monitoring the tables. This is so that it doesn't come out of taxpayers' dollars, but theoretically.
That I think would be an interesting interview.
Yes.
So, sir or madam, we need you to be a security guard. You have to go and check people when they're eating their picnics at a table. Okay, I'm in. I've got it. I've got this.
It remains to be seen if this will actually be a permanent law, and it will be a bylaw, like the cities have bylaws. And it's going to move from draft to full-fledged bylaw.
Yeah, and I guess the interesting thing is, folks, democracy does work. So there were some residents who were concerned that they couldn't get a place, so they pitched to their councillor. The councillor in turn pitched to the administration, and now it's up to other residents to say yay or nay. So that's sort of how democracy works, I guess. So that's
what it is. That's our system, and that's so the complaint. Your councillors are responding. You may not like the response, but they heard you, and they're doing something about it.
That's it, exactly. So I guess people or citizens, Dorval citizens, will want to pay attention to the next council meeting, which I believe is May 17th. So they can sort of check that out.
And
so
oddly, not all council meetings on the West Island. I haven't checked downtown or anything, but not all council meetings are being streamed. I find that disheartening. A
Mhm.
lack of transparency. Please check. We are in a municipal election. It's November 7th will be the time when you choose your council and you choose your mayor and council. And a lot of our cities on the West Island are demerged. So please consider knowing your councilors. They are out there. They are time to reach out, even do a Zoom with them. You shouldn't be voting for somebody you don't know. They will
Correct.
happily speak to you. And if they don't, there's something to be said right there. But I'm not fond that not all of our cities are streaming. I find it's either stream or something. The fact that I can't see the conduct or can't see who's voting for what, not happy with that. I'm not comfortable with that at all.
No, light is the best disinfectant for anything. And when you hold meetings in the dark, sort of away from people, that's
Slippery slope, as they say.
democratic. And we've had a year. This has been a year of this now. So for people to say can't quite figure out the technology would be expensive. You and I are trying this live on Facebook, live on YouTube. There's no reason the city shouldn't be able to do it.
You can do
So
it.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Maybe the cities don't want to do it for free, but you can do it for free.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
no. And you know, there's usually, I mean, in hotter cities, there's 20 or 30 people at these meetings. You could do a Zoom meeting, and let's face it, if 150 people show up, then you need to buy the bigger package. You can get 1,000 people. Don't tell me there's 1,000 people at any council meeting anywhere.
No.
You can do this by Zoom, and everybody's got a Zoom account now. So
Well, we're all used to it, right? I mean,
Yep.
we've all done it plenty of times. So
there are no
okay,
excuses.
that's interesting. So moving on, this is a great initiative, and it's something that you and I have actually did a live hit a couple of years ago, and it's with Susan Scarrow over at the West Island Mission. And I'm just going to read it out because it's the Solidarity Garden and Grow a Row. They're doing that again. So
Grow a row for
Grow a
for
row.
people that are starving, people that need fresh food. We got a lot of gardens on the West Island. We got a lot of companies that have green space out there. A lot of major corporations on the West Island are taking a piece of their land and having it designed in such a way that the volunteer hours for their staff become invested into this Grow a Row. It helps the West Island Mission. Whatever your food bank of choice, it doesn't matter. The food bank of choice, get your produce going. If you feel like planting a tomato plant and giving those tomatoes away, we want those.
Yeah, exactly. And what they're doing with the companies is the companies, like you say, on their own green space, they get boxes done, and then they grow, they grow produce throughout the year, which is really interesting. And
there's a service that comes in and does it. Like you don't have to take to take off your Armani suit to go do this. It can't be done for your team, and then your team just weeds and picks and cares for the plants.
That's right. And they're doing this in association with the Corbeil de Pain de Lac Saint Louis. So West Island Mission is merging with that food bank, which I think is great. So if you want to help, if you want to learn more, check out the West Island Mission online or www.wimmoi.org. And that's
West Island Mission. OI. I don't know what the OI is for, but
that's French. Yeah. So that's
French acronym.
That's it. So it's a great initiative, and we know it works because they're still doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
And we covered it, believe it or not, Kev, we covered one last year and one the year before. This is 2 years, I think.
Good for them. I think that's great. So any West Island companies who got some space and want to help out, you guys should get in touch with the West Island Mission. And all you green thumb gardeners, and we talked about this last week, Rhonda, a lot more people are gardening because you can't go anywhere. So a lot more people are gardening. And so if you grow something extra, give it away like that. I think that'd be a great, it's a great initiative, and it's a nice thing. Nothing better than fresh food in the summer.
Nothing better. And everybody that does a garden always ends up having surplus. So let's they'll get it, or I'd even come and get it. Just let us know that there's something to pick up. We'll get it.
That's it. I think that's great. So this next one is kind of interesting. I want to talk a little bit about this one. I just saw this one this morning. So Pierrefonds Roxborough has put in, speaking of notices of motion, they want to put in a motion to the city of Montreal that for the upcoming November 7th municipal election, which we were just talking about, they want it to be legal for people over the age of 70 who still have some health risks or are maybe a little shy to get together to go to a voting place, that they can vote by mail. And so this is something put forward by Pierrefonds Roxborough. And the thing is, for whatever reason, I guess because, like you were saying earlier, motions take a little bit of time to come in. Their deadline for this, according to Jim Bass, was a mayor of Pierrefonds Roxborough, was July 1st. So this motion, or this ability for people over 70 to vote by mail, has to be passed by July 1st, which is kind of why he's spinning it up or revving it up right now. So what's your take? What do you think?
Well, I was doing a brief for the National Assembly regarding municipal elections and the system that we have in place, and part of the reform that we're looking at, and what things we could change. And they asked me, because I had some opinions. I've run 2 or 3 times now. I can't remember, 3 times, and there are glitches. There are things. I think I'm going to just post my brief so that everybody can see it.
That's a fantastic idea. That's a great idea.
I think I really should. I was holding off, but I don't know how it's going to play out, because when you submit a brief to the National Assembly, normally you go and present it, but I don't think you have that. So anyway, long story short, it's a Zoom thing, I guess. I don't know how they're going to do it. I haven't had any response back from that. So what is part of that equation, and part of what we were reading about when I was doing my research, was that it is proposed that in Quebec it will be they are proposing 70 and older put forth their vote by mail. But I put in my brief, why stop at 70? What about the others that are stuck at home with kids because they can't get out? I mean, those are the ones that they don't vote because it's very, I don't know about you, but when I had young kids at home, I couldn't see the light of day. I didn't know what month it was, never mind if we were voting or not. So there's a period of time when moms and dads are stuck with a very intense time in their life, from work to kids to they're just not there. Let everybody vote by mail. The cheating happens in any event, anywhere. So if there's cheating going on, there's cheating going on now. So there's cheating going on now. If there's cheating going on when we mail, what difference does it make? Like you still have to fix that problem of the cheating. Cheating exists, and it's possible, and it's, I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. I think it's important that everybody have this chance to vote. I would love to vote by mail.
And let's be honest, unfortunately, municipal elections have a notoriously low turnout.
The one that wins is the one that gets their friends out the most.
Yeah. So if there would be an opportunity to augment turnout, because someone could actually, in the comfort of their own home and send it in, I do not see a problem with it. I think any way to increase democracy, any way to increase people's, because I've always said, if you don't vote, don't complain. But you're right. What if you can't vote? You want to, and even the, what's it called? Early voting, the week before.
The advanced poll.
If that doesn't work for you, then you should have that option. I mean, I just think it's more democratic, and it gives everyone a chance, because there's nothing worse as someone running to hear someone say, I wanted to vote, but I wasn't able to do it. I couldn't physically get to the place and cross it off.
You know how many lineups I've stood at the advanced poll in line with like hundreds of people. That's not going to be attractive to a lot of us this year.
No. Let's be honest, right?
If we do get back to normal in life, I don't know how. It's going to take me a while. I'm going to have PTSD. I know it. Like,
yeah, we're all just going to have OCD, washing our hands when we're talking to people constantly. But you're right. I mean, this was several months ago, but I remember I needed to pick something up at a hardware store. Drove by the hardware store. There were 9 people waiting outside. I counted. I drove home.
Well, I'm worried about that for the elections. That's what's going to happen. You're not going to get my mom. Well, mind you, she fits into the 70 age group.
Right.
I drive by the SAQ. I drive by the Provigo. If there's a lineup outside, it's like, okay, see you later. I'm not going to go. I'm anxious. It's not because I don't want to go. I wanted something. I went to Provigo. I wanted to vote, but I didn't vote because it was a big crowd, and I stayed home. People are not going to suddenly not be nervous.
No, well, that's it. And also too, like, the stores that we're talking about, they're open 7 days a week. Voting, you're going to have 2 kicks at the can, advance and then on the day. So I highly recommend mail-in. And what I would be really curious to see would be the difference. And I'll bet you there would be a higher increase. I'll bet you there would be more.
Hope so. I do hope so, because normally it's about 30%. It's about 30% right now, and it's
which is unfortunate, because I think our last federal election we peaked at around 59-60, and that was considered good.
Yeah.
So 30%. I mean, yeah, I'd like to see those numbers increase for sure. So voting, I'm into voting, and I hope it works out. So this one will be to be continued, this story. I think.
I gotta tell you, when you do vote, there's got to be, and I proposed this in my brief.
Right.
Here, I think we've discussed this, where the legal clerk from one city is swapped out with another city.
Yes.
There's no conflict of interest with the legal clerk themselves.
Yeah.
And what I'm it has to happen that way if you're going to be mailing it in, because when you do mail in your vote, you're required to put your license with it.
That's right.
There's information going in here. So now you know who I voted for on top of it all.
That's right.
There's going to have to be a way that it's sealed and so on, but your license is going with it.
Right.
Or some kind of identification with it. So it needs to go to an opposing city. It goes into a box. We take it to Kirkland if we live in St. Anne's, and they open it, and we open the Kirklands because we have no conflict there. Like,
No.
everybody swap out. There's no extra. Every single tip that I gave to adjust our election system, I gave it with, they were all free. I had 7 points and they were all free.
Nice.
So there's no reason, there's no taxpayer implications here. You can do all this. You can adjust the system to be fair and true without spending any extra tax dollars.
Great. Well, I hope it works out. So again, this story will continue for sure.
It absolutely will. It's time for the giveaway, Kev. We are at
Our winner, yes. So we want to make the giveaway, and our
today, so that next week you can win.
correct, exactly. That's right. So from last week's show, our winner is Fabienne Sadi. She wins a dinner for 2. So thank you so much, Fabienne. So I guess they just get in contact with Bustan des Sources, and off you go to the races. And hey, let us know how the meal went. We'd love to know. Anyone I know who's eaten there, Rhonda, always says the same thing. God, that food's great.
It's delicious and it's healthy and it's fresh.
Yeah.
And, you can get you get it quick. You can get it easy. You call 514-542-4646. These guys have it. This is Bustan des Sources. They just opened.
Nice.
And it fresh, like so fresh. They have a mango salad that just like rocks my world.
That's great, especially with the summertime coming up. You want to eat like less heavier food, so that's awesome. Wow!
All right, so we're winding that up.
Blasted through that show.
All right, thanks so much. That was our first live, so we hope it's okay. I think it went on my personal page, but it doesn't really matter. We'll
figure it out.
We're working through the glitches, guys, and we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can shut us down. Have a great.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Take care. Always a pleasure, Rhonda. We'll see you soon.
Bye.